question that I get asked a lot is, by you being a young entrepreneur, how do you find time to bring in your social life or hang out with friends, or how do you just manage your time in general while being a young entrepreneur? Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how I manage my time as a young entrepreneur. The first thing I'm going to talk about is my sleep schedule and your sleep schedule. Now, if you're going to sleep late at night, 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning and waking up at 5, 6, probably even 8 a.m., that's not good for you at all. I'm gonna be real, I'm gonna be honest. I know sometimes desperate times comes for desperate measures, but in most 99% of the time, you do not need to be going to sleep at 12 and waking up at 7, 4, and 8 o'clock a.m. But the only reason I would say that, if you're on a grind like me, I'll say for a couple of months, I was doing that straight. I was going to sleep at 12 o'clock and I was waking up at 4 or 5 a.m. just to get some work done early in the morning. I wouldn't go back to sleep. I'll just stay up and finish throughout the day. But you need as much energy as you could possibly get. So the recommended hours of sleep that most doctors will tell you is 8 hours. But come on, if you sleep 8 hours, you're sleeping mostly half your life away. And then take it, for instance, most people take naps and everything throughout the day. I'm not that type of person. I don't find the interest in me taking naps in the middle of the day. I just can't do that. So basically, what I do is, regularly, I go to sleep at 12. That's just like my regular bedtime. I go to sleep at 12 o'clock, and majority of the time, say for instance, because I have school, I'll wake up at 6:30, and that's for a regular day. So I'll get about 6 hours of sleep. But if it's just a regular day, I don't have no school, no nothing, I go to sleep at 12 and then I wake up at 4. I know y'all probably saying something, hey, this man is a hypocrite, he just told us not to do that. Do as your body can tell you to do. You know your limits more than I do. And I know I can survive off of 2 hours of sleep, and I could perform all of my tasks at max efficiency. And I can't say the same about you, because I do not know what your situation is. I only can speak for myself. I can give you the best advice and the best tips too, but that's just me speaking personally, because I can survive off of 2-3 hours of sleep and still perform at my peak. Now, everybody does things a little bit differently, but that's just me. So even after going off the sleep schedule, you don't want to eat heavy meals before you go to sleep, because then, you know what that means? You're not actually getting your rest. Your body's still trying to digest that food, and you can't actually get the rest that you need. So enough of that being said about the rest and the sleep schedule. Now let's get into finding time for a social life. For if most people don't know this, but me personally, I can count on one hand the amount of people that I actually talk to daily. And I'm gonna tell you, it's not a lot. I don't really too much pay attention to hang around in big groups of people and always go out partying and always going to this place, going to skating ring or going to trampoline parks. Me personally, I only find time to do that stuff when I've accomplished something big that day. And I know y'all probably say, oh, this kid has no life, or he's just one of those people that say, oh, just go work 24/7, don't have no social life. No, I'm gonna tell you to do the exact opposite. Because me personally, I'm a social butterfly. And no matter who it is that I'm talking to, who I am that I'm around, I can automatically click with them like that. And it's crazy to me. I've always been like that since I was a little kid. And the only thing that I can tell you to do is, if you're not in the right place that you want to be at, do not hang around a whole bunch of big crowds of people. Do not tell them all your ideas. Do not tell them all your plans if you have yet to achieve those certain plans and ideas for yourself. Because one thing, once you let everybody else in the whole world hear what you're trying to do and you haven't accomplished it yet, all they're gonna do is just bash you down. Bash. And I done had multiple experiences myself. Most people, oh, he's just cringy, oh, that stuff not gonna work out, or he just doing this for the views, or he not going nowhere with that, oh, he just talking, he not making no money. But boom, they don't know what's happening behind closed doors. So you know what I do? Plug my ears and ignore them, or let it go in through one ear, out through the other. And it's that simple. Now, if you find an honest group of people, an honest group of friends that has the same type of mindset as you, stick with those people. I cannot stress more to find people like that. If you find people like that, keep them for a lifetime. That's all I can say, because if you have people that has the same type of mindset with you, and that's going to be real with you, and that's not going to kiss your behind and tell you, oh, that's okay, even though it's really not, those are the type of people you need to hang around. And those are the type of people that I persuade and that I hang around myself. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some knucklehead people that are around me. And the reason why I say it's best to keep at least 1 or 2 of those people around you, not close everyday buddy, but at least know how they operate and how they act, because you can learn from them. And listen, I'm about to tell y'all this, I'm giving y'all the sauce. When they come in your life and you learn stuff from them, you will know exactly what not to do to be in their position. Just like, say for instance, you see a random homeless man on the street and you ask them their story, right? They tell you everything they did, how they ended up homeless, and you know what you could take from that conversation? How not to be homeless. Plain and simple as that. And that's exactly what you can do. You use that same theory and add it to friends. It's the same thing. That's exactly what I do, and I do that. I've been doing that ever since I was 9-10 years old, and I'm 14 going on 15 right now. So trust me, just speaking off of experience, it works, and it's best if you do that way instead of trying to fit in with everybody. See, if I go to my school right now and if you ask somebody about me, they'll be like, oh, Abe, he's just a businessman and all that stuff there. Or some people just say, oh, I'm whitewashed and all of that stuff there. But it's really not that deep. See, most people, they don't understand how it be when you have a lot of friends. See, me personally, I don't have a lot of people that I hang around. I keep my circle small and I keep it closed. And the reason why I do that is because when you have a lot of people around you, then you know what that means? You're constantly getting fed wrong information, or it could be right information and wrong information at the same time. And by that happening, you'll get lost and you wouldn't know where to go. And that's why keep your circle small, but keep it with the right people, and at least 1 to 2 knuckleheads in there that you can learn from. What not to do. Let me be specific. Learn what not to do. Now, that pretty much sums up the whole social life and having a friends aspect and finding time for that. Okay, in the next part of this video, I'm gonna talk about how to stay up in your peak physical condition while you're running a company or while you're running any type of side hustle or starting about being a young entrepreneur. See, by me being only 14 years old and I'm already running 3 companies, I still find time to work out 6 days out of the week and have 1 day for rest. Now, I know probably like people might say, man, this dude's living like a robot or he's doing this. No, it's really not that hard. Me personally, I don't always go to the gym to go work out. I rarely even go to the gym. I go to right next to my neighborhood, there's a calisthenics fitness court that I go to, and I do calisthenics. Because if you didn't know, I'm real big on calisthenics. Like, I be doing, as you can see the last video that I just posted, y'all seen when I worked out, I be doing upside down pull-ups and everything. It's pretty crazy. So just the main thing that I'm trying to say is, if you want to live the best life that you possibly can be, and you want to have the physical condition, you need to find time in order for you to work out and find time for you to actually enjoy that. Because no matter how much money you have, you don't want to be a multi-millionaire and you're not able to spend that money. And that just goes, there's so many billionaires out here that's barely can walk, that barely can talk, barely can hear, they can't even move up and down the steps, and they can't even spend their money. They have to have people spend it for them. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be that way. I want to be 102 and still be able to do a backflip. I don't know, it might sound crazy, but hey, we might get there. So that all falls down in the line of keep yourself right. You need to know what you're eating. See, me personally, even I don't knock people that eat chips or all of that stuff there, but there's certain foods that I cut out of my life. Even by me being so young, I just thought to myself, what am I doing? Because there was a time that I opened up a bag of Lay's and it was nothing but straight grease. I knew the bag felt kind of heavy, but it was straight grease in there. And from that day forward, I told myself I wasn't going to eat no chips. I wasn't eat anything like that. So I don't eat chips. I don't eat noodles. I don't eat candy. And it's just that simple. By you cutting out certain simple things like that, your life could change tremendously. I know people might say something, oh, it's just not eating a bag of chips, or it's not just eating a Snicker bar or a lollipop. No, it goes farther than that, because every bag of chips you could be eating an apple. Now, I'm not saying eat 30 apples, because that's not as good as, that's the same as bad as eating 1 bag of chips, because it has too much glucose and too much sugar in it. So you need to watch what you eat into this line. I still eat fast food. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not one of those kids that's only eat salads every day, only eat casserole and pasta 7 days out of the week. I don't do that. Sometimes I find pleasure in going to get a bowl from Chipotle, or go get a meal from McDonald's, or go to Wendy's. But you still need to watch what you eat. It gets to a certain level where you cannot be eating that stuff every day, and that all of that stuff comes in for pleasure. Some people like to eat just off of the pleasure alone of eating, just off the thought, okay, yeah, I'm getting filled, or yeah, it just tastes so good. But by you filling yourself up with that certain amount of dopamine, it gets you fat and it gets you bloated, and you don't want to get that certain way. And I have people that's 30 years old, 40 years old, almost 50 years old asking me how to get in peak physical condition by me, because I train people actually like that. Just the other day, I was training a person 7 years older than in person. And the first thing that I tell them and I ask them is, how is your diet? And no, I'm not going to say you need to eat only kale salad, or you need to eat this, or you need to only eat fruits for 7 days, or go on a water fast. No, you just need to watch what you're eating and make sure you're consuming the right amount of calories, and you make sure that you're not consuming too much of something. Because if you didn't know, too much of anything can be bad for you. Too much of bananas can be bad for you. Too much of apples can be bad for you. Too much of salad can be bad for you. Too much of anything, and it goes in all aspects of your life. Too much of anything can be bad for you. Now, that pretty much sums up the physical, having time to manage for working out, finding time to have the right diet. All of that plays back in the same aspect. So, with that being said, that wraps up that section. School. This is the section where most people find it hard to make time for. And I know a lot of people may be slacking in grades and might have a hard time in a certain subject, but let me tell you, these are the tips that I can give you to where you can stay on track with school while being a young entrepreneur or being an entrepreneur in general. So if you're like me, that I need to have it organized in order for me to manage my business and my schoolwork. I have a folder for school. And now you could get a 50-cent folder from Dollar Tree. It's not that expensive either. So when you get that, if you have a lot of paperwork like I do, I know I have a decent amount of paperwork. That's the reason why I got me a folder. So on each side of the folder, you want to have a not completed work and a completed work side. And on each side, when you get an assignment from the teacher and you can't finish it right then and there, put it in a not completed work and dedicate every single day to open that folder up and at least complete 2 assignments that's in that folder. Now, if you don't have 2 assignments that need to be complete, just find something that can help you better in the subject or any situation in school that you need help in. See, me, I really never had time to study for certain tests or anything, because I practically went my whole middle school year without studying for a single test at all, and I still good, okay? And that's just because I would like to say I have pretty good memory. If you don't have pretty good memory, at least not before you go to sleep, but right when you wake up, study that certain subject that you need to test on or that you need to remember. Because when you wake up, that's when your brain is at its full capacity, and that's where it's at its peak. And y'all gonna hear me say that word peak a lot from here on out, but that's when it's at its peak. So that's the best time that you want to study. Not when you're coming straight home from school, not right before you go to bed. No, as soon as you wake up, so your mind can grasp that information, and not anything else will be on your mind at that time but that work. So even having friends at school, this falls a little bit back into the social life. You need to find time for your friends, for your school, for your company, and for fitness. Now, the main thing that falls down in those 3 lines, one of the most important things, is school. Even though as much as I strongly dislike school, it's very important, because most jobs and most people, you cannot operate without a high school diploma or anything. I'm not talking about college or anything, because me personally, I've decided that I wasn't going to go to college because I deemed it unnecessary for me. It might not be unnecessary for you, but I deemed it unnecessary for me. And that's why you need to pay attention in school. And see, I'm going to give you a little tip. If you know you're falling behind on certain classes with certain subjects, be friends with all of your teachers. I'm not saying oh yeah, that's my best friend, or I'm calling them every day and night. No, always be polite. You need to be polite to no matter, even if it's your teacher or not. I think I am. I'm a very polite young man. No matter, even when the bus driver picks me up, the first thing I say, good morning. When they come pick me up in the afternoon, good afternoon, see you later. All of those certain things, be polite to them. And you know what? In exchange, they'll help you out. If you need a little bit more lenient, or you need more leadway with a certain assignment, they'll help you out. But no, if you're being a class clown in their class, or you're causing disruption to other kids learning, then guess what? They will create a habit into not actually liking you, into thinking you're a troublehead, knucklehead kid. And you don't want to have that certain image. And by you having that certain image, they're not going to give you as much leeway. They're not going to help you with certain assignments. And you're just going to be on your own. And that's just what it is nowadays. And that's how I managed to run 3 companies, still have good grades in school, have a good physique, and guess what? And still have a social life. It's not that hard, y'all. All you have to do is just put in the right time and the right effort in these certain categories. And you just got to make sure it's well proportionate. And that pretty much sums up the school section of this video. Now, to wrap the video up, that That was mainly the main 4 things that you need to worry about when you're becoming an entrepreneur, and those main 4 things that you need to focus on and to find time for. Now, hopefully what you took in from this video is how to find time for each and one of those categories. Now, with that being said, Abe out. With all due respect, love y'all.